Hey there, Nick Genitakis here. In this video, let's talk a little bit about sunsetting an open source project. Now, this term can mean a couple of different things, but typically what it means is you want to officially say that you're no longer supporting a project, but maybe you don't want to delete it outright because you have a number of people who are using it. In this video, we're going to go over how you can do that on GitHub. Now, if you have a whole bunch of different projects, I've been contributing to open source work for quite some time now, and I managed to rack up about 50 different repos, and pretty much all of these are actual repos that I created. These are not forks of other projects. And over time, certain projects get a little bit of use from the general public, right? ORATS here has almost 700 stars, like 500, 400, whatever. And what I don't like to do is just to, wake up one day and just delete one of these repos out of the blue without warning. And this actually came up not too long ago when I created this one project called Flask Static Digest. Now, if you take a look here at this other repo here, this Flask Webpack one, and by the way, I've actually done videos on this before. I'll leave a link to that in the description, specifically Flask Static Digest. But anyways, the goal of this repo basically makes this one totally obsolete. But, there's a couple hundred people who started this repo, and there's like thousands of downloads on PyPy, and I just didn't want to just wake up and delete this repo. So I decided to make it read-only by putting it into archive mode. And you can do this very easily with GitHub, but before we get into going over how to do that, I just want to talk about some steps that you might want to do to prepare a repo to be archived. Because once the repo is archived, it becomes read-only, meaning you're not going to be able to push any more commits to it. So if you want to make an update to your README file before you do that, that would be a very good idea. For example, this is the message I decided to do. And of course, if you have a different project, your message is going to be different. But generally, you might want to speak about certain things that will apply to all of the things. Basically, putting a big header saying like, hey, by the way, this repo is no longer supported and it's been deprecated in favor of the new one. So maybe you would link to the new library that you're deciding to replace this with, if that happens to be the case. And then, you can maybe write a couple lines or two or paragraphs just explaining, why the new one is better. And, maybe just say a farewell to the project if you decide to decommission it. Now, doing this is actually very easy. So, and let me do it on this one just so you can see how it looks like when it's not archived already. But you can just go to the settings of your repo and then scroll down to the dangerous area, which is near the bottom. And you can just mark this archive as read-only or mark this repo as read-only by archiving it. And then you can just click this and let's see what happens when you click that. Yep, so you do, just like deleting a repo, you do need to actually type in the name of the repo. And I'm not going to archive this one on video because I don't want to archive this one. This is the one that's actually live and maintained. But you can see here, unexpected bad things will happen if you don't read this. So I do recommend that you read this. And basically, it says that, if you want to make an update to your README file before archiving it, that would be a good idea. Also would be a good idea to consider closing all open issues and pull requests because you won't be able to modify them after it's been archived. And you can see here, right, if someone goes to issues here, there's no ability to create a new issue because this one has been archived. But if I go back to the one that isn't archived and you go to issues, you can see that, you can create a new issue here or a new pull request or things like that. So yeah, it's a pretty useful feature because now, people who are using this tool, they have the ability to figure out where to go to upgrade to a new one. And in the case of this project specifically, and this is also a really good tip if you plan to archive a project because you're going to be replacing it with a new one, it may be worth it to put in an upgrade guide. Where do I have this? It's somewhere down here on the bottom. Where is it? Not here. Wow, I already forgot where it is. Jesus. Okay, here it is. Migrating from Flask Webpack. So in the new project that you create, if you're expecting folks to come over from your previous project, then it is a really good idea to put in some, migration paths here, some documentation informing users what they need to do to change over to the new project. In this case, it was, deleting a couple files, adding some new files, changing some things in a couple of templates, and then that's basically the upgrade path. Depending on what library you decided to archive and replace it with, those instructions are going to change, but your users will be pretty appreciative of that if you have some documentation on how to do it. But yeah, this is a pretty quick video. I think the archive feature on GitHub is pretty nice because it really is explicitly, it really does explicitly allow you to say that a project is no longer supported, but, it's still available to pip install from PyPI. It's just that it's not going to get any more support. Now, before you even archive your project, you may even want to go one step further and maybe just put a warning up at the top of the README file that maybe this project is in maintenance mode, and maybe keep that up for a couple of months or something like that, just so people have a warning to know that, this project is really no longer maintained. Maybe you're just doing bug fixes and things like that until you're ready to actually archive it and make it read-only. And on that note, I hope this helps you out. I know this definitely comes up if you have a lot of open source repos, because let's face it, not everyone is going to maintain every single project they create for life. Sometimes projects just fizzle out, or you want to replace them with new, different projects that do the thing better. And on that note, thanks for watching. If you have any comments, please let me know. I'll do my best to answer all of them. And if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up because it helps. And I will see you in the next video.